Well, the vibes are catastrophically bad. Avs lose to the Dallas Stars 2-1 in overtime of Game 3 for Dallas to take the series lead 2-1. Look, there are plenty of silver linings in this game. You can take a lot of positives from it, and you should take some of those, not least of which being Gabe Landeskog's return to the lineup, not just being big for it existing at all, but him actually being one of the Avs' better players in this hockey game. Extra options like a Gabe Landeskog adding quality to your lineup is essentially going to be necessary for the Avs to come out on top in this series from this point. For the most part, what this game comes down to for the Colorado Avalanche is a failure to convert on their opportunities. Which is weird, because in the first period, they pretty much converted on their one real chance. It comes at 4-on-4, and it is, for the most part, an individual effort. After getting possession in the zone, a drop pass to Nichushkin up high sets up this play, and then it's almost entirely an individual effort from Nichushkin. An initial attack towards the net gets forced out wide, and Nichushkin opts to pull up and reset his own possession. He circles back high outside of the circles, and I will say, while this is mostly an individual effort from Nichushkin, it's good next recognition from Brock Nelson, as Nelson will set himself up to just kind of step in the way of the defense. It's nothing too fancy. He just gets in and puts his body in a spot. He doesn't run him over. He doesn't really pick him even, but he creates a lane for Nichushkin to step into towards the middle of the ice. You also have Matt Duchene just literally covering nothing. I don't know what's going on there, but that leaves a wide open lane for Nichushkin to walk into, and he does a great job showing patience to beat Ottinger. A goal like that should be a big boost, right? That's Val Nichushkin, who has not been great through this series. You're getting pickups from your second line there, which should set you up for success. It's something that you've needed in this series. Problem is, you need everybody else, too. The Avs are outshot by a gigantic margin through the rest of the first period, and we see the biggest problem of this game start to creep in, as at the end of the first, the Avs fail to convert on a genuine power play opportunity. Look, Mackenzie Blackwood deserves some credit. The Avs defense deserves some credit. They gave the Avs an opportunity to win this game that they ultimately fell short on. It's the lack of production that is absolutely what comes up short here. The second period was actually pretty decent, especially with a team playing with a lead. Yes, it's only a 1-goal lead, but the Avs outshoot Dallas 8-4 in that period and get the better of possession in most ways. Once again, they have a power play that they fail to score on, and that becomes the problem. In fact, in the second period, the Avs mustered 8 shots on goal with 7 high-danger chances. They just were not even coming close to executing on finishing the plays that they needed to. They finish at even an okay rate in this game. They probably run away 3 or 4-0 in this game. Instead, it's 1-0 after 2, which is still not horrible. But even with a better second period, the Avs have not played well in this game. It's apparent that they are struggling to generate or finish offense, and it's coming from all the way at the top. Nathan MacKinnon had 9 shots on goal tonight, but wasn't particularly dangerous. Cale Makar downright had a bad game, and it would only get worse. The third period kicks off, and inevitably, chances are going to come back the other way. This is a playoff game. These are 2 good teams. One team's not going to sustain momentum for the entire game. So when the Dallas Stars get a power play, the Avs kill the first one. When they get a second one, it's one too many. Immediately off the start of the second power play, the Stars win the face-off. They work it out high. An initial pass down in low is covered well by the Avalanche, so they work it back out high where Thomas Harley is entirely uncovered. The Avs are a little too deep. They're not able to pressure Harley, nor do they take away key passing lanes from him. So Harley puts a little slip pass through. I don't know, that's not a slip pass. It's a real pass. It's just poorly positioned defense to allow this pass through the bumper, and Ben, from the top hash mark, puts an unbelievably good redirect on it. That play's pretty tough to stop. Discipline, a factor there. Yeah, are some of those calls maybe a little bit soft? Maybe. All of this is a side thing to me. The reality here is the Avs did not give themselves a cushion. They did not set themselves up for success to win this game long before this penalty ever even happened, and it only gets worse from here. Not long after the tie score, the Avs get a power play opportunity, which they once again struggle with, and I will give the Avs a little bit of credit. At least possession-wise, they did push through the rest of the third period. They did have a counter-attack, but once again, what did it actually accomplish? Unlike the second period where the Avs were generating chances and just not finishing, the Avs were playing a bunch of empty possession hockey, putting on Corsi shots, as my partner Eric likes to call them. Yes, they are technically Corsi events, but they aren't all that dangerous. And even still, the Avs should have won this game if they can convert. Now, I will say I did miss portions of late in the third period, so I can't exactly say what happened because of an incident. If you want to learn more about that, go watch our last podcast. I'm not going to get into it here. Nonetheless, with about a minute left, a little over a minute left in regulation, the Avs draw a 4-minute double minor out of Dallas. The conversation at that point became very simple. score or lose. That was it. Yes, technically if they don't score, the game continued, but it's ridiculous. They do not score on it. Not in the third period, not in the carryover into overtime. They fail to convert their opportunity. The Avs are technically now 0 for 6 on the power play in this game. They lose the special teams battle, and if you'll remember, the one goal they scored came at 4-on-4. So when they do lose this game, they also lose the 5-on-5 battle. So after failing to score on the power play, the Avs have possession in the offensive zone. Taves is going to rim this around to MacKinnon on the far side. MacKinnon is able to collect it and even kind of gets double teamed here. Nathan MacKinnon drags 2 players to him and is able to get this out of danger. It looked a little sketchy, but he's able to flip this through. It's a little funky, and Jonathan Drouin collects it. I don't care what Jonathan Drouin does with this puck, but he can't lose this battle, no matter what. Whether this is going back to Makar, whether it's fighting the battle and winning it himself and controlling the puck, whatever he does, he cannot do this. He cannot simply lose this battle clean, and this sets the Avs up pretty disastrously from the beginning, but it's only going to get worse from there. A nice little chip up from Mikko gets the puck past Makar, and now the Avs are chasing back. Taves is going to get back well and be able to defend the puck carrier. Jonathan Drouin is the second man back, has to do a better job of awareness of who's coming in late. Instead, he slides to the middle of the ice, which I get it. When you're not sure, when you don't defend a ton of the time, you just go to the middle and try to take away the danger. And fair enough, because there is Thomas Harley coming down because Martin Necas lost his guy coming back. The problem is, Cale Makar also lost his guy coming back, and now Tyler Seguin is alone with Jonathan Drouin covering nothing in front of the nets, and then a short side shot beats Blackwood. Are there massive breakdowns on the game-winning goal? Yes, absolutely. There's a bunch of bad, but I don't really want to dive into that bad all that much because, again, the bad here is the Avs should have won this game a long time ago. They needed to win this game before something like this happened. They had every opportunity in the world, and they failed to do so. I do still believe the Avs can come back and win this series, but that felt like a team that was a little bit lost at times. It feels like similar stretches of this year when the puck isn't going in for them, they almost shut down and forget what they need to do. Now, any playoff series can switch on a dime, and if you are looking for silver linings here, again, I think there are plenty of them. Not just Gabe Landeskog, but you played good stretches of hockey in this game. There are portions of this game where you did not give Dallas very much at all. Your second and third lines probably played some of the best hockey they have in the series, including a goal from your second line. I know it's 4-on-4, but it's Nelson and Nichushkin. But honestly, maybe the most important thing is you know your best players can play significantly better than this. And has Dallas done a good job of limiting them? Sure, absolutely. That does not mean that Nathan MacKinnon has suddenly turned into a pumpkin all because of Dallas. This is on MacKinnon and Makar too to be the best versions of themselves, which they simply have not been over the last 2 games. I understand. Feels terrible. Everything about that game feels terrible. And if they play game 4 like that, you can pretty much write off the series. You go down 3-1 looking like that, that is a mountain you can't climb. You've already created a hole for yourself that's going to be difficult to dig out of. When the pressure was on Dallas, they stepped up to get themselves back in this series. Now the Avs have to do the same. There are lots of reasons to not feel confident based on this game, but there's a reason they play the games, so we'll just have to wait and see until tomorrow. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I am Rudo, and please figure it out.